It's time for Mr. Knizel's music class.
Music has played an important part of every human culture, from the most rudimentary percussion instrument to an orchestra, and even to modern electronic sound. Let's talk about the science of sound.
Jimmy the science guy. Jim. Jimmy the science guy, but actually a music teacher. Jimmy.
Sound is any vibration that makes it to our ears. You have tiny hair-like receptors and a tiny tympanic membrane, the eardrum, that sends those signals to your brain. In science class, you will talk about how waves can represent what sound would look like if we could actually see it. The height of the peaks of a sound wave show amplitude. This is the strength of the sound, or the volume, how loud it sounds. We may say a sound is forte. A short peak will show a softer sound with a lower amplitude, like a piano dynamic. How close these waves are to each other demonstrates the frequency. And this frequency tells us the pitch, how high or how low the note sounds to us. This is different than loud and quiet because pitch actually changes the note. Pitch is how high or how low the note goes. High notes and low notes. We measure pitch in hertz and give letter names to these notes like A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. We measure pitches in hertz and we can give letter names to these notes like A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. For example, this is a tuning fork. If I hit this on something, you may not see it vibrating, but it is moving back and forth at exactly 512 hertz, which is a C5 on the piano. Da. As long as this is ringing, you'll hear that note from the vibrating. And after you've hit it, it decays, which means to get weaker over time. The frequency, or hertz, of this tuning fork is going to be way closer together than the frequency of, say, a note from the tuba. An easy way to remember it is the smaller or thinner an instrument is, the higher it's going to sound. An instrument like the piccolo is very short, very thin, has lots of buttons, and is going to have a very high sound. Compared to the tuba, which has a much lower frequency. Think about how Minnie Mouse's voice on a tiny character is very high versus a giant fee-fi-fo-fum with a low voice, a low deep voice. A child's vocal cords are going to be shorter and thinner than an adult, so their voice is higher. How does the sound get in your ear? No, not like that. Well, there has to be a medium. I see music in your future. No, not that kind of medium. A medium is anything that transfers sound vibrations from one place to another. The most common medium would be... That's right, air. All of the molecules in the air, made up of oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and a whole lot of other stuff, smushed together and apart, sending the energy from the vibrations across the room. The molecules don't actually travel that far. They just bump into one another, sending the energy that way, and then they return to their original positions. Just like the waves of the ocean, if you looked under the water, you would see that the sediment and the dirt just keep cycling pretty much in the same location. It doesn't just all go to the shore. If I yell across the room, "Hey, man!" my air is not moving all the way that way. The energy from my air is moving, hitting this molecule. This one hits that one. This one hits that one, and continually moves across until it gets to its position at like 700 something miles per hour. I'll have to fact check that. Speaking of mediums, if you tried to sing underwater, you would notice that it sounds very different. Underwater animals like whales have to use special frequencies to travel longer distances underwater. You could try an experiment much older than me by taking two cans and putting a string between them, stretch the string tight, and talk in one can while the other person listens. Now you have old school walkie-talkies. Instead of air, the medium is the string. If you learned anything from this video, If you happen to learn anything from this video, please leave me a like, a comment, and share or subscribe. If I happen to say anything that you found to be incorrect, go ahead and fact check me in the comments and we can talk about it.
See you next time on Mr. Knizel's music class.